lovelies, it's Ramona, and today we are going to be going on to number 7 in our Makeup Basics 101, and what I believe is one of the most anticipated videos. We're going to be reviewing eyeshadow, teaching how to build color families, how to best utilize a very quick basic look that we can then build on. If you haven't seen from the very beginning and you'd like to, you can go ahead and link to the first video right above. Otherwise, hang on and we're going to get started on eyeshadow looks right now. Okay, so now it's time for the fun part. We are going to start messing with eyeshadows. A lot of people wonder about eyeshadows. They wonder about how to blend, how to build color, how to pick color families. If you have a huge palette that has 35 different colors in it, how on earth do you pick what colors go with what, how to create looks, how to put them on your lids? It's just very intimidating to people who aren't very familiar with makeup. Well, I'm going to show you that as well as a surefire way to do any quick eye look without taking up too much time, and you can look great doing it. So I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so that you can get me and the palette in the same view. So we have a Jaclyn Hill palette right here. There are so many colors in here, so many beautiful, bold colors, but how do you build? And one of the most important things to look at is color families. You wouldn't start with a lilac purple, build to a darker brown, and then put some blue on top of it, because that's not going to work very well. Another thing that you want to keep in mind is building lightest to darkest. So for example, say that we want to create a warm eye look with this palette. What we would do is we would start off with a base color, one of the two lighter shades, probably this one because you don't want your base colors to have shimmer in them typically. So this one would do really nicely too. And lay that just all over in the crease, in the corner, just all over your lid here. That's going to be your base color. And then from there, pick colors that you think are going to match well. So if you start off with this color, you can build up to this color. It's a little bit darker, a little bit deeper, but still the same color family. And then from there, you can go down to here. This one right here is basically the same color family, a little bit darker. You can keep building on the color as long as the color families are the same. They're going to look great together. And then say that you want to deviate and come over here to the oranges and maybe some reds. Now what you wouldn't want to do is come over here and try to put a shimmer right on top of it, or start with a shimmer and go to a darker color, or you also wouldn't want to jump from here over here to the blues. It's not going to work. You want to stay within color families. So what I recommend with working with a palette that's this large is to pick 3 colors and start a look and then go from there. You want to pick 3 colors because you want an all over eye shade, a crease shade, and a lid shade. Those are the 3 basic shades that you're going to want on your eye. It's going to give it a little bit of definition without being too much to handle too soon. So the 3 colors that I'm going to go in with are the base shade, this one, which is in light. I'm going to go a little bit darker for my crease, and I'm going to go down to this shade in the middle, which is Roxanne. And then I want to add a little bit of shimmer, so I'm going to go over here to this one, which is, I believe, SBN. So those are the 3 shades that I'm going to use, and I'm going to show you how to do a very quick eye look with 3 shades. You can do this very quickly. You can do this in the mornings. One thing that I do want to mention is eyeshadow primers. You do want to look for the same qualities that you would in a regular primer, just because your skin is still going to react the same. If you have drier, flaky eyelids, look for a cream product. If you do tend to have a lot of oil on your eyelids, look for a non-oil product. And I actually have already primed my eyes because I've added the concealer while I was blending all that out, and then I've also added powder. That's going to act as my primer today because I'm not looking for a super long wear. Usually what I use is the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, and I also use the NYX eyeshadow primer as well. Both will work really great for me, and I just don't have them right this moment. One thing that you're going to need is a big fluffy brush. This is going to be good for getting the color all over your eyelid, which is what we want that lighter color for. So I'm going to go in very quickly and just all over this eyelid. I'm just going to go all the way up to my brow. I'm actually going to bust out the mirror because I'm doing it in the viewfinder again. There, now you have a good all over shade for your eyelid. Now what you're going to want to do for the crease is take a slightly pointed, fluffy brush, got some density to it. This is the Morphe M53 brush, and I'm going to take that shade Roxanne that I was looking at and get just a touch on my brush, not a lot, tap off the excess, and I'm going to go in and put it on the crease. And don't worry if it's super pigmented, we are going to go in with the shimmer and that's going to correct that, bring it down. You don't just want it on your crease, you do also want it on the outer corner of your eye because we aren't adding too many other shades. Sorry if my mirror is getting in the way. Alright, so we just have a very simple 2 colors on our eye now. We're going to take a brush that has a flat edge. This is the Morphe 166 brush, and it is just a packing on shadow brush. I'm going to take that one shimmer that we spoke about, and I'm going to dab it on my eyelid. And dab and drag it back to where it blends in with those other colors. The other color that we used. And then I'm going to go back in with that very first shade that we did, and I'm just going to soften out the top lines. And there you go. On second examination, we probably should have used a color a little bit darker for the crease. So I'm gonna go in and do that real quick just so it doesn't look such the same color, and I will be right back. So you can see that that does change it up a little bit. Now that there is a transition in shade between the two, I'm actually going to go in with another 3 colors on the other side so that you can see it a little better. So I'm going to be using the Too Faced 15-year anniversary palette. It is very well loved, as you can see. A lot of colors and pigments have been used up. I've dropped it and pigments have fallen out. It has just been a big mess, but the 3 main colors that I use on a daily basis are in this palette. So I figured it would be the easiest to show you my everyday look with these, and it is another 3-color look, very quick to throw down, very simple, and I will go through those really quick with you right now. So I'm going to take that same brush. I have that same brush that I used for the crease over here, the Morphe M513. I have cleaned it off. I am going to go in with this brown shade right here. Going to go in my crease with that. And bring it up. And then with the same shadow brush, I'm going to go in with this very pretty gold shade right here. And then for the eyebrow bone, I'm going to go in with this cream shade right above the brown. And you can see these colors are used quite often. I'm just going to go in above that brown. Soften it all out. See? That is a little hard. That is a little hard to see whenever both the eyes are different colors. But these are 2 very simple eyes. They didn't take very long at all. If you just want to throw on some color for the day, 3 colors is a great recommendation. You need a crease shade that's a little darker. You need a pop of color that is a shimmer and or a brighter color than the crease. And then you need a lighter, the lightest shade of all to go over your brow bone. One of the things that I do want to focus on this channel is learning new eyeshadow techniques and just practicing the super elaborate eye art that I just love. So as we go through, we're going to be learning more and more eye techniques, and I will be doing them for you, showing them how I've accomplished what I have, and that way y'all can try on your own. The only way to improve your eyeshadow technique is to practice. Blending is key. Always go lightest to darkest. You also always want to start darkest in the corner and go lightest to the inner eye. You always even want to put a highlighter right on the inner eye because it makes your eyes pop and look a little bit more open. So you're always going to be working on a gradient. This should be the darkest part of your eye. This up here by your brow bone should be light and highlighted, and this over here by your tear duct should be highlighted and light as well. Darkest to lightest, and blend the family colors. Blend from the lightest to darkest. You don't want to start off with a brown and then try to blend in a cream color over it. Start with the cream, build to a slightly darker color, and then a slightly darker color, and then a slightly darker color. And that way you do have a good base of fluffed out color up here, if that makes sense. It's very blended. And then as you get darker and darker, you're going to shorten the amount of space that you're putting on your eye. If you start off with a cream color and you fluff it all over your eye, and then you go one shade darker and you maybe only put it to here back, and then the darkest shade you maybe only put it right in the corner, that is going to create your gradient effect. And just make sure to blend. Blending is the name of the game when it comes to eyeshadows. It is how you're going to get the beautiful results that you see on Instagram and YouTube. All of those people are queens at blending. So now I have two completely different eyes. It's a good thing that I am not leaving the house for the rest of the evening. If you want me to go over any more eye techniques or just basic eyeshadow rules of thumb, going over blending or gradients or family colors, leave a comment down below and I will be sure to do that for you. And if you did find this video helpful, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe while you're at it. And we're going to head on over to the next video. We are getting down to the wire here. We're going to be doing eyelashes and eyeliner. So I will see you there.